Hello future tech leaders, I'm Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Today, what we will see is till yesterday we saw about some duplicate case search and how we can automate workflow. Those kind of things we saw. Today we will see how we can able to set some condition, visibility condition for the form content. Suppose example where if you need to show certain details only to the certain users, you should not show certain details to different kind of users. Example whenever we are processing with the case any kind of payment. Once after filling that particular card number, debit card number and CBV. After that only we need to go show that OTP request field. Till that we should not show that OTP request field. In order to do that, how we can hide and how we can show some kind of visibility conditions like that we will see in our scenario. Like in this application, we saw different case types. Like may a customer, and then we saw some Google Road application. Like what this application? This application is like whenever the passengers are riding in the car and if they are facing any issues in mid of their journey, like we will provide with them. They will raise their request and we will provide some service to them. Like they will go and pick the car and we will make it ready and we will hand over to them. Now what is the scenario is this GoGo Road application, it allows the users to enter the service address by entering the information in the fields. Or if you see here identify location is there now. Here what we will do is the customers will enter the particular service address and they will search the location where the particular from the map exactly where their vehicle is seen in order to customize the user experience. That UI consultant, what they wanted to do is on a non-mobile devices user wants the fields to enter the service address. On mobile devices, they want to have some location from a map. If you are raising some complaint from laptop means, they want it manual to enter service address, what is your street name, everywhere it is exactly located, everything. If it is mobile device means, then we need to have some GPS maps location that they will select from maps only. We will see how to show different kinds of scenarios for different kinds of fun mobile and non-mobile device. Now what I will do is I will run this case once and I will show you the difference. In Pega terminology, we will say this is visibility condition. Based upon some condition, you need to make sure something is visible, and based upon some condition, you should make sure something is not visible. This is there, just I'm clicking on my vehicle doesn't start. And just like I will select some kind of random customers and then I will just click on. Now I went to identify location. If you see, like we have 4 fields. Like what we have, service address. We have like street, city, state address. Like we have like service address, city, state. And then like below we have like address and maps. What we need to do is like this address is there. No, this maps. This one, we need to show it for mobile only. Whereas this manually enter should be shown for non-mobile devices. That user will enter manually here and when they are using non-mobile devices and when they are using mobile. They will see this particular fields. They won't see like about top fields and all. For that, like how we can hide the top based upon the condition that only we are going to see it. Like just like I'm going to click on this particular thing. But in mobile device, like the service address is street city, it is also be visible. No, it won't be visible for non-mobile device only. This thing should be visible for mobile device like below things like this address and these things should be visible. But is it possible to directly select from like map? Map means like here they have address node. Here they will enter. Here they will enter. Here they will enter some hide rubber like that. Enter means in map, automatically it will go to that particular. There we can pinpoint where it is exactly. Oh, understood. Now we are going to hide this particular thing. Maps for a non-mobile device. And then we are going to hide this particular thing for mobile devices. For that, how we are hiding, like we see what needed to be done. Like here, configure views there right. Just like you click on that particular things. Like right hand side, like you will be opened with the particular section. Whatever you given here. If you see here, like you have some section here. Like what we'll do is like we'll edit this section. If you see here street, city, state, these 3 things are there here. Now like what we will do is like we will be having like we need to keep some conditions here. For that like what we'll do is like just like what we'll do is like we will see that particular format like where we can edit. What are the different about topics we are covering today? Today we will be covering about this particular visibility related thing. And then like we'll be covering about front end designs like how to customize the dashboard, how to customize the portal, those things. Like a few things like the firstly, like in App Studio, we have skipped. Because like those things, like we need to know only in Dev Studio things. Like in advanced manner, we will cover that in Dev Studio. Mobile app is today, we were not covering. Mobile app, like tomorrow we will cover. And this topic is pause, resume and skip. Pausing. That one as part of Dev Studio will cover. In the report is the topic of like the customer dashboard. Correct. Now what you're asking? Report making like parachart and all these things. Yes, that one will cover. Reporting those things like will cover. Actually, we are making separately a tab viewer for dashboard and all these things. Is it also available? The same features in like bigger. It is available. Same features that tab view offers. That you are saying here. Do you know Microsoft Power? Power BI. For making dashboard and all these things. Correct. It's the same way, but it will be like a similar way only, but it won't be exact. If it is exact means there won't be any difference. It won't be any difference like that. Here, if you see like we have like visibility condition. Here like what we can do slick like, if not blanket blind. Those kind of things and all we have. Like what we can do is like we can just select on when to. And here like we can select like whatever you want. Example we want like when it need to be sure when it is not in mobile. Like we can show that PY is not. PY is not mobile is there. Like just like if we select means then that digital this it will work. If you want to know like what is inside this P, why is not mobile means. Like it would be opening the studio. Based upon that topic, like we can see like if it is, when to list the conditions of where it will be determined, like based upon what you need to hide or you need to show the documents. Just explain what is it like mobile. I'm not able to. Mobile means like mobile, like you are using mobile, right? That one. If it is mobile means it will be like small device. If it is not mobile means then it will be laptop or some tab they are using and they are raising the complaint. It's related to smart mobile. Smartphone. Like example, like customer can raise in two ways. One way is like they can raise complaint using smartphone. Another way is like they can raise the complaint using like web application using laptop. Like when they are doing in mobile application smartphone. We for easy accessibility, like we will provide some mapping maps and then to them location and various like in a website like this particular laptop configuration. We need to show street manually to enter all those details. For that, only that we have been differentiating. For mobile means what need to happen. For non-mobile means what need to happen. We are giving basic condition, but actual, that straight and all this thing is also available in mobile as well. If that only like, we need to hide that on. Just like we are adding some visibility condition, for that one only visibility. Why we are adding is like we are making. It is like visible or not visible. We are making. Basically, we're explaining this visibility. If you see here, this is like a provider vendor. Here like what it's showing is like it is showing like that PZ is mobile. Like whenever you are using mobile device, this condition will become true. Like what it will do is like whenever this is true, then it will be considering as a mobile. Whenever you are using mobile, like we have some kind of configuration called PZ is mobile, it will become true. Based upon this, like what we are making is like we are making, like whether it is like mobile or not, like that will be making and considering. Like as normally, if you're using smartphone wins. Like what it happens is like this property will be set to 2 by Vega. Example, if you're developing any mobile application, they will set this out of box property to be true. When they are setting it as to be true, then we need to recognize it says currently customer is using smartphone like that. In order to make that like what we are using that particular configuration, particular this when rule in that particular street cities. Those things we are using. What we are doing is like whenever it is not mobile, that time we are making sure like this particular field should not be displayed like that. Just like is one thing is like that rule is able to explain this is mobile or not, is able to recognize. Like this rule will be able to recognize whether they are using smartphone or non-smartphone. I think they will be using mobile device. No, like we will use the like will develop. If you are developing with the lab mobile configuration here, like if you are doing mobile configuration here, if you are doing wins, what it will be done is like it will be thinking. This is like mobile review and it will not show this manual. It will show only below fields. Understood? That's just like I will add that and I will show you. You know percent showing like a desktop tab and mobile view. Are the first street city you are clicking on the desktop. And for that, yes, you're clicking on that mobile. No. Here, we need not to give anything as of now. Our condition is like only this particular fields. If they're giving means, it will work. You can explain this. 3 things like the stock that have and mobile. I will explain. Normally these things, everything you'll be doing only in the particular, what is the particular day, should only be usability conditions, everything. You won't do anything in the studio. Like for your understanding, only like I'm making it to show it in the studio. Here, just like you'll be getting the particular design of like the service address, everything directly like. What we can do is like we can click on this gear icon. And it is asking like body visibility, visibility always. Here like what we can do is like we can select condition when rule. And here like we can include like this is like provider, like not only like now like for all the systems. Even if in the Bank of America, if you take, this will be the PV, is not mobile. What does it do is like it will check like whether it is mobile device or not mobile device, whether it's smartphone or non, phone, just like we can click on submit. And we'll click on save. And then like apart from that, like what we'll do is like we'll run other few things like this particular case as well. Now like if you see, like we kept on conditions. Here, what we kept is like the particular condition is like not mobile. Not. Not mobile means now like we are using our particular mobile. These things only like what it is, like laptop only. Here, like we should show the below the like the states. State those things we need to show, but we need not to show the particular UI related like maps and those things we need not to show. Now, like it is just displaying below, also it is getting displayed. Like what we'll do is like just we will select this as well. And then like we'll just click on it. Like what I have did is like just I opened that particular thing. If you see here, like here, only like we have that particular changes. Here like what we'll do is like we will click on this gear icon. Here like what we will do is like we'll select another condition like quiz mobile. Whenever it's mobile, then we'll get like this particular field and the map's location, and whenever it is that particular changes, we will not get anything. Now like what I will do is like I will refresh this one and like we'll see. Now like basically what we are doing, we are processing our case in this particular laptop only. Like we should not see that maps thing. Now when we are developing mobile application, that time what it will happen, this will be hidden, and then that maps will be located like it will be shown to the user. I understood. Like while designing, like tomorrow we'll design one mobile application. That time we will see like this condition will be working. Like this one display, and the instead of that will display that particular that maps thing. This is called like setting visibility content based upon fields user things. Any doubt in this? No. As for now, I don't have a doubt, but actually I need to practice this visibility. One thing, wherever you need to case whatever fields you wanted to hide or you wanted to, just click on this and then like you will be opened within a particular way. Here you click on this gear icon. Here like you will be shown with like visibility on that. Just here like what you can use, like you can select that condition and then you can keep using the condition. This is not a provider. These things are not. The next scenario is like now like we have hidden based upon some mobile or smartphone or non-smartphone device. Now what we need to do is like after a request for this particular assistance is approved, example like this particular assistance, like the request is approved. Like once the customer raises and then we have the assistance request is approved, the service provider like it will be dispatched to the location provided by the customer. In order to perform this, like what we need is like the customer service request, that ability to verify and modify the service address when selecting the service provider. We'll go back to App Studio. Like if you see here, like exit review I'm giving. If you see this particular configuration here, the customer will raise the complaint, whatever issue they are facing and what is the location and the vehicle. After that, like it will go to validation and automatically it will see that whether it is like duplicate or not, it will check. If it is not duplicate, it will be approved, and like service team, we need to assign some service team for them in order to pick up their car from the location where they struck. Like what we want to do is like the customer service representative will be there. What they want is like they wanted to ability to verify and modify the service address when selecting a selected service provider. Like example, whenever the particular service, particular location, whatever entered by the customer, like what they want is like whenever they are assigned service provider to particular team, particular compliant. They wanted to verify and modify the service address when selecting the service provider. Like for that, what we can do is that we can have one button to select service provider view that the customer service representative can verify that a particular service address submitted by the customer. Basically, what we want is like a customer will be typing some address here in this particular step. Like whichever service team is near to this particular location, we need to assign that service team to this particular person who is raised and compliant. In order to do that, like what we wanted to do is like we will have one button. In that button, like we can be able to edit and modify the address where the customer is in. And then like we can go to the particular address and we will see how it works. There's nothing I'm doing, just like I will go to save and run. Here, just I'm selecting something randomly and I'm processing this. If you see here, like we don't have that map showing now, like only like the state, city, state showing, because this is not on smartphone which we are working. It is in laptop, just I will. Here like what we will do is like we will type something. Number 2. And we'll type like a robot. And like some service address we entered here. And then now like what we'll do is like we'll advance this case or something we'll type like. Now like a new assistant request has been created and it has been validated. It is not in duplicate case. It went to like service provider now. Now like what we need to do is like we need to have some kind of a configuration here. If you see here like we can see the particular maps which has been reused. Like what we need to do is like we need to have some kind of visibility and then like we need to modify this particular thing. Actually, it is true that creating columns and row but manually something developing, is it? I think I don't have any idea about that. But it's possible. You want to know how to create those things, right? No, like what you're asking. You wanted to know how to create rows, columns, the thing in Dev Studio. I think right now we are also creating the same thing as Studio. Like just we are doing the same thing. In Dev Studio, like in Deep, we will do those things. We'll create one section. We will add one row there. We'll add one header. There will do. Here like what we'll do is like now we went into this particular service request thing. Like I heard now, like what we'll do is like we'll click on design and here. Like what we'll do is like I'm just doing something. It is some white showing and it's like what it's doing is like the screen got like overlap on it. I think it's like what it is, like we will design. My screen is visible. If you see here now, like we are in the self-service provider, like here, like what we need to do is like, we need to make sure, like we need to like here, the customer can modify some details, whichever provided to him. That like what we'll do is like here, like below, like we'll have some kind of maps. Just like I will open it. Here, if you see, like what we are going to do is like we are going to add one button here. Like here, like what we have is like we have like plus icon. Just like in this second. Like we are clicking means it will ask like what is the control we need to add. Here like what is the control we need to add is like we need to have like buttons. Like we had button. Just like we'll click on this button. Now, if you see below, the button will be added. If you see, this button got added again. Since we added here like from plus icon clicking, the button has been added here. Now like what we need to do is like we need to configure the button. Just like what we can do is like we can click on. And like we will customize the button name and how the button should look, everything. Now like in this particular button, it is asking the caption name. Like what we'll do is like we'll have some caption. It's like actually I have done this thing in dashboard like Power BI and all these things. There we also have like button. If you click on that button will function the same what we have provided them for a different condition. Same thing only here. Actually, we use that button when we want to move to next page or something. Like we can use in multiple ways. We can use in dashboard as well as in different way. In our scenario, what we are going to use is like the service provider. Then we are assigning some service provider to the customer. That time like we can able to modify that. Like he can just click on it and he can show like what is that. Everything he can see and based upon that he can go. Now we just added one button. Here, I think we have more functionality than that. Like now, just to be added button and we are kept as a button name as like modify service address. On clicking of this button, there should be. Something should happen now. On clicking of this button, there should be some functionality, Say example, if you're clicking on submit, this is one button. Like it is submitting whatever modification you need. Cancel means that is one button. It will cancel this particular thing. Same thing. Like if you're clicking on this modify service button, that time, then there should be some action, even should be performed. For that, like what need to be done is like we need to go to actions. If you see here, there is an action. Here, like we can use the create action. It is like in that add an event. What you can do is like you can see like example like normally like in button what handle you will do. what we do in button, like what you will click on the button, you will double, you will click, single click, you will click, double click, like you will just hover over this button. Like those things under you will perform. Those, if you are doing those things under. Like will make, like what is the action should happen, like that will make it. For that only event will work. Even if I click on add an event, it will show like whether you are clicking on this button one time, whether you are double clicking on this button, or whether you are right clicking on this button, or whether you are hovering on this button. When you do any one of these functions, what will be the action should be performed? Those things and all we need to see there. For clicking, we are giving different type of conditions as well. Correct. On clicking what is the action should happen? Suppose customers clicking on this button means, what is that action should happen? Whether it should go to next screen or whether it should stay in the same screen and it should throw some pop-up. What should happen? Those things under you will display in that action. One word out is like, how do you know that clicking by this condition, this will happen? I'm sure the user will not know, just like back-end developers will do this. Like whenever they are clicking that whatever we are doing that, it will be shown to them. But actually we are giving an idea to user by, we will give an idea. Like if you see here, like we gave modify service address. They will know by if you see here caption, like we gave like modify service address. And whenever the customer sees this button, they will say whenever we wanted to modify the service address, we can click on this button. Like that he will think and he will click. When he is clicking that time only, like this back-end operations, what we are configuring, it will show to them. Understood? Now what I will do is like I will do like on click. I like on click. What is the action? Suppose the customer is clicking on modify service address button, then like what it needs to be happen is that we need to make like, if you see here these actions which has all the things. Here like what we'll do is like we have lots of condition here. Here we have lots of conditions. On click of the button, you can make various kind of conditions based upon your requirement. Like I said, we don't need to customize anything. We need not customize anything. Whatever the possibility you have, they got given all this. Just you can use whatever you want. Just you can select the particular things. Here like what we want. Whenever the customer clicks on this modify service address, we want to show another screen and there, like he can able to modify his address. In order to do that, like what we need to use here is like we wanted to use like local action. What this local action will do is like whenever the customer clicks on this button, like what to say, whenever the customer clicks on modify service address, he will be given with one pop-up like. Pop-up means like the screen. It will be displayed. There it will be given like various options. What is the option? Like he needs to modify. What is the option you need to select? Like that. Like here, like replace current means like the customer is in one screen, means current completely. It will be shown with new screen. But like what we'll do is like we'll keep model. Like what is meant by modern day, like it's like mainstream will be displayed. On top of that, like this pop-up will be displayed. How it is showing. You see now on button only, we are making some changes. But back in this Designer Studio button, everything is showing. But there is a pop-up here. Here only, We are configuring for this button configuration. Same thing, only like it will be shown as a model. There about the remaining. Same thing will be showing, but it will be there, only pop up. It will be showing like this. Like what we need to do is like whenever the customer clicks on modify service address, we wanted to call identify location step here. Like in case that we have identified location step now. Those things like we want to show you. Whenever the customer can change the address whenever they want. For providing two kind of an option. We are doing this kind of changes. See, first the customer when creating a case, he will have identified we have one identified location step. There, like he will fill street, state, city whenever it is non-mobile application. Mobile means maps will be there. After filling, that is going to next step and then like service provider stage we are there. There, like I suppose they wanted to modify the address. Like example, service provider team, they wanted to modify the address. That time, like what we'll do is like they will click on this modify service address button. That same identify location step will be called to them. Like it will be pop up. There they can make whatever they think. They need everything. Just like I will do this and I will show it in UI. Like after that I will come back to have any doubts. Like we'll come back here and I'll explain it. This will be a totally new topic. You will be getting difficult to understand. Just like now what we did on click of this button on click. What we need on the click of this button. We need to show one editing like our location step. We need to show. In this location we have all the field streets, cities, steps, everything we have. We are going to open this step. After that, like next add on event is like hover. Like hover is like where is like hover is in mouse event. What is mean by hover? What is mean by hover? No, I don't know anything. In normal like English terminology, only like not in Pega. Normally, when you will use this hover, you hover from your mouse. No. See, hover means like it's an English word. Hover means like this is hover. Like I kept on cancel, but I didn't click on it. Just I kept on cancel. Now I hold over cancel button. I have hovered over submit button. I didn't click anything, but just I hovered over submit button. I didn't click the cancel, but I hovered over the cancel button. That is the meaning. Actually, we are waiting for something like correct. Like you, just to be in support. Customer will not select to see there is a button. Customer doesn't know what is that button actually, like has some configuration or not. For that particular purpose, whenever like customer hover on this button, we need to show some information. For that information only, we are using hover. He is not clicking but just is clear. Moving that cursor, this mouse key on this, that when he hovered here like we need to show some information. Oh, actually, it just we are not clicking anything, but it just like showing something information, like in the air. Correct. In the air. Correct. If you click on it, if you're not clicking, just if you're hovering, it will show what is the next step to be done. That is made by hover. That here for air. Like whenever customer is hovering, like what we need to add, like we need to show some kind of information to them. For that, like here, we have like display various things. Like what we will do is like we'll show some kind of smart info. We can mix up all those same thing like who are and click by holding that, showing the information, and then after clicking, that goes to the same thing. We can do that. Actually, most of them, they are doing the same thing, the whole and clicking. Like over means they didn't click it yet. On click, they clicked. I understood. But by clicking taking an event, you are not getting the same information. They are merging there. Correct. Right. Now like on Smart Info, what we are doing is show Smart Info. Here display had the checkbox is there. Just click on it. What information you need to show when customer overdo this button. Like what information we need to show is like we will show like some plain text. Here you have message. A property field value plain text. Like what we are going to do is like we're going to show some kind of a plain text. In the plain text, like what we are going to enter is like current service address. Basically, whenever the customer clicks on this, they will modify the address. Whenever they just hover over there, it will show the current service address for them. Like what is the detail need to be shown is like that is the section which we need to go, which is service address. I understood. Whenever you were there, but actually showing the main thing is the current service address every day. And that it will be showing why. Because what is the previous address they entered. Whenever they hover there, it will show that. Whenever they want to click, whenever they click on that, they will be modifying. They will give an option to modify. By clicking or by right click or left, all these things. They are getting different things. Just like now, what I'm doing today, I'm going to submit it. And if you see here now, like our button name got changed to modify service address. If you see like we modified, what we'll do is like we'll drag it and keep it up. That means like in top, only the modifier service address will be there. We have only one button. Shape is like what? We are different, but also different shapes. But then like only one shape we have, but like what we do is like we can make that button to be in different context. For example, if you go to presentation tab, there like it is easy if you see here like we have extended button. Like example, like now it is like the same or this kind of button. Now, if you want to make some like very strong button means, then you can go to presentation of button and then you can click on strong. If you do like that when you click on submit. If you see here like the button will become like with dark blue color or dark blue. Simple means like you won't have this dark blue color and you won't have this bottom. Those kind of things like based upon your requirement, you can do it. Just like I made like strong button. Like, you know what we'll do is like, now we saved it. Now we'll go to that case and then like we'll refresh and we will see how the particular things works. Basically, what are the functionalities for customizing? It is up there providing that much. Correct. If you see here, like now, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to click on and go. Now, if you see, we got one button. If you see here, we got one button here. If I'm not clicking that, I will go over there. If you see here, like I got this particular current address. I didn't click on anything. Just I click on over. How is like more of a service address the name? Correct. See if you see here. Whenever I have one like a current service address, it is 21 JPC. It is a rubber status. Whatever we entered previously. This is like smart info, like what we did on click forward. We are shown some smart info. That is this one. It actually showing the inside info as well. Now that will configure it. Just like there is some configuration missing. Just like what we can do is like we can modify that particular thing here. On click up action, then we click on over. Here like whatever you need, you can make those configurations. Like condition. It's basically conditions. It will be showing in this particular way. Suppose whenever you're clicking that time, like it will be making that particular change. Example, if you see whenever we click like we are getting that service address, and here we can change the service address whatever we need. Example, now I'm changing like 54 JN Street. And I'm making. I'm just clicking on something. If you see here, now it got changed its current address 54 JN Street, City GPR status Rajasthan. It has been changing. Understood. But actually, why are you showing the map in this satellite? This one you didn't hide here. Like in this particular thing, we didn't hide any kind of maps here. Because of that it is showing. Why is this showing is like the customer can select the provider whatever it is nearby to that location. Normally like what we need to be hidden. Same thing. We need to do it here as well. This is what that particular button configuration based upon on click of button. What need to be done and what need to be done. Everything will be disabled. Any doubt? No, I don't know. Like the next thing is like we'll see about customizing the portal. We'll see just like in a high level, we'll see and tomorrow we'll see like designing of mobile application. This particular thing is the right customizing mobile application. Like here, like what we are going to do is like this particular GoGo road service provider assistance. They are working through different vendors, contracted vendors. To ensure customer satisfaction and service consistent accrual to different vendors. Auditor reviews the common service request. Like, in order to do that, like we need some kind of a user interface. As a director of the vendor management, like we need to create a new auditor portal and add an existing landing page to view that these and the request is. This is one GoGo Road company. They are having all the branches all over India. Like how they are made. Like we will have like different kinds of details. Like example, different vendors. Example, if you take some. If you take some franchise, like example KFC, if you are taking means KFC will be common. But the person who is running in Bangalore or Hyderabad, they will be different. But the common franchise name is like KFC. Same way like in the Go Road, also same thing. Like they have different vendors. Like in each location, one vendor will take care. Example, you are going to buy some car which is in like Maruti, like in your location, like where you are residing in Hyderabad. There will be some dealer for Maruti, various in Jaipur, Rajasthan. There will be some dealer various in Kashmir. There will be different dealer but same Maruti only they have. But the dealer will be different. The same thing only in our this Go Road application. Also, they will be having different vendor. Like what we need to show is like every vendor will not be same, right? Like some vendor will be very good, some vendor will be not that much good. Like in order to make those kind of customer related satisfaction, we need to have some kind of a separate user portal where auditor will log in and he'll check like what is the customer satisfaction, like that everything. In order to do that, like we wanted to create some 5 to 10 cases, those things, and we'll see tomorrow. Fine with that? I will call this visibility. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.